And they said not even God could sink this ship. We tried to warn him. We said, "Captain, is the GPS not working?" He said, "It's sound. Don't worry." "Captain, what's that big white line dead ahead on the radar?" I said, "Well, perhaps it's misfunctioning." And then we heard the sound, a scraping sound, along the side of the ship, and it shook the ship of state. I said, "Captain, what is that sound?" The captain was mute. Now there are buzzers going off, and horns, and that sound, the unmistakable sound of water rushing in. What is that red light on the panel, flashing now, that says hull breach? Not even God can sink this ship. It is so great. Where is our captain? Why doesn't he say something? Why doesn't he call all crews to quarters, to battle stations? Where's the first mate, Cheney? Perhaps out hunting moose with a big gun. We only had to look at history. Things like the Titanic. Countries great. The USSR. The Soviet Union. They hit icebergs too. Mark my word. Yesterday, the United States of America, the great ship of state, hit the iceberg dead on. And now the hull breach light is flashing and the horns are sounding, and the president says nothing. And then all those big financial wizards that have helped us in the past, they try to put patches on that hole as the buzzers sound and the ship lists and the water rushes into the hull. If we can just get it to that next port without the passengers noticing it, at least till Election Day, it'll all be okay. Bush is hiding because they're ashamed of Bush. And they want to establish McCain as a leader. I saw McCain's leadership yesterday. He said, "The ship is sound." The Titanic was sound. And then a couple hours passed, and the men who speak to him in the little earpiece, so he doesn't make a mistake when he talks, those unseen men, they said, "Maybe you better rephrase that." So then he said, "Actually, what I was saying was that the American worker is strong." My God, the American worker is strong because it takes him 2 jobs just to pay the basic bills. Maybe here what we don't want is to win this election. I pity the man who tries to fix that ship that is so terribly damaged. McCain had said we're whiners. Sometimes when the ship is sinking and they don't even give you a life jacket, maybe it's time to whine a little. We're past the stage of whining. We talk of 9/11. That was a little radar blip. our economy is failing. Now, you can scream, God bless the USA, but it doesn't change the realities here. The economy is failing. Some things for you to think about. What is a slave? Slave is nothing more than a man who works, but he doesn't get to keep the results of his labor. Just look at all the taxes you pay. We tax everything. We tax you when you're born. We tax you when you buy medicine. We tax you when you do this. We tax you when you do that. In your frustration, you want to smoke? Boy, we tax you big time. You want to drive to work? We tax you big time. You die? We tax you. Your children want an inheritance? We tax you. We get money for everything. So who are the slaves? Especially the poor people. They were the first to notice it. Now it's moved into the middle class, and now the ship is sinking. Can Obama save us? I worry about Obama because he really wants to go to war in Pakistan. We'll just move the war problem over here. Can Palin save us? Could somebody explain to Palin the responsibilities that were taught in the civics book a few years back of what a vice president does? Palin said, I would go to war with Russia. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Almost as brilliant as Rush Limbaugh, who said, Palin, what a wise choice she was. Mark my word, Bin Laden, he said in that first broadcast that we saw from him, don't worry about missiles and guns. I will destroy you economically. That's exactly what has happened. It's not present. No? Just look. Figure it out. The big banks are failing. The insurance companies are failing. The economy of the United States of America is shutting down. And let me tell you, we don't live here in this country of capitalism on great principles. We live on the dollar, and it's devaluated and devaluated and devaluated. Pity the person that wins this election. I hear them screaming, we want change. We need help. McCain doesn't seem to be able to handle this. And Obama's saying, we need change. They're trying to shore this up till the election. And then I have no idea what will happen then. What's that on the side? It's the fat lady. Her big fat leg is out on the stage from the side curtain. She's taking a breath. My God, I think she's going to sing. Reap, gonna reap the fruit of the seed that you've been sowing. What you gonna say to the Lord that day when he asks what you've been growing? Will you say hope is a-growing, that's what I planted. Hope is a-growing, that's what I planted. Started.
Initiating shutdown sequence.